Okay, we're looking at 30 types in 30 days, and this is day number 28. Let's take a look at Samson in Judges chapter 16. This is the very end of Samson's life. Now, Samson's a hard character for us to feel good about because Samson just keeps doing selfish things throughout his whole life. But every time he gets into a fix where it's just about to be the end of him, God miraculously strengthens him and he overcomes his enemies, and he always has this great strength given by God. Even though he continues to do his own thing, go his own way, do what he isn't supposed to, and act in ways that are not consistent with God at all, and a worshiper of God. Well, Samson is another of our negative types, but Samson really, throughout his life, displays what it means to be Israel. Israel acts this way. As a whole, Israel continues to act this way. They go their own way, they do their own thing, they find themselves in bad situations constantly, about to be destroyed by their enemies. But right when they're about to be destroyed, God miraculously strengthens them and they overcome those who are opposed to them. But finally, they find themselves in a very desperate situation because the ultimate enemy has captured them. The Philistines represent Satan and his armies who've now gotten the people of God completely taken over and captive. What will they do? Well, they've had their eyes gouged out. They can't even see now. It says in chapter 16, verse 21, Samson has his eyes gouged out, this great, strong man of God. Israel is blind. Israel can't see what's going on. Even he can't understand what it is that God's trying to do around him and through him. And now he's used for sport for the Philistines. But in this final thing in his life, he's being used for sport, and all the Philistines are there making fun of him. And we see that his arms are completely outstretched against these two pillars in this arena that everyone is gathered in as they make fun of him. And in this, he asks for one more time of strength, even though, remember, he can't see it all. He pushes against the pillars. The entire arena collapses, and he kills more in death, it says in verse 30, than he ever killed in his life. Well, Jesus, of course, has his arm outstretched as well. Israel is here picturing what it means to be all caught up in Jesus, all of Israel caught up in Jesus. And it's Jesus himself who's been bound and captured. Israel, though, can't see what's going on. Jesus is the Israel of God, the true Israel of God, who now has taken on the captivity that all of Israel has. And with arms outstretched, dies. Israel, though, can't actually understand or see what's happening, but Jesus is dying and killing more of the enemies of them in his death than they could have ever done in life. Beautiful pictures, so much there. More tomorrow.